Okay, so you are on to a very special Christmas edition of the program today with John and Helen on Plus TV Africa, where the story lives.
That's where the story lives. Christmas is celebrated all over the world as a season of goodwill. Goodwill is about giving and giving joyfully and selflessly. So today, the conversation is on selfless giving.
And we look at expectations, non-monetary and emotional giving. And our first guest is Oluwaseun Fadiora. He's co-founder, Street One Technologies. Merry Christmas once again. And when we come back from this very quick break, okay, our guest is actually on Zoom.
Yes.
And he's standing by.
Yes, he's standing by.
Merry Christmas to you.
Yeah.
Are you there all the way from England?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you. Good morning.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everybody. Merry Christmas, Helen and John.
And
Good.
thank you for joining us on the show.
Good.
Yes.
Yes.
Nice to be here.
Let me welcome you personally as well. And I hope that you're enjoying Christmas in London. I have a feeling you may have wanted to travel down, but for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
But that's all right. That's all right. Now, we'll quickly, yeah, it's a jam-packed show, so we'll quickly dive into our questions today. Well, I must admit that, you know, we have the right mood here in Nigeria, okay? And my first question to you, which is about giving, is that our understanding of giving is that it comes from the heart, all right? And when it comes from the heart, it is something that you've prepared for. Yeah. Now, what would your expectations be concerning giving?
Thank you so much for having me on the show this morning. I've been involved in a lot of projects that have to do with giving. And one of the things I would say is that, like you said, it comes from the heart. And for most people, it's something they consciously do and think about. And it's something that is also rewarding, particularly when you see the effect of your gift on the people that you have given the gift to. It's such a awesome, very, very awesome feeling.
Okay, we can hear you. Go on.
We can
Please
hear
go on.
you.
We can
Yes.
hear you.
Yeah, so it's like I said, an awesome feeling. It's something that I think everybody should, you know, try to get involved in, particularly at this time of the year, where people are celebrating the birth of Christ, and also a time where everybody's happy to see the end of the year, particularly 2021 with all its challenges. So I think giving is something that helps us to, you know, put the old 12 months in perspective.
Okay, so it's actually a deliberate act
Oh, yes,
giving.
definitely.
Yes.
Deliberate.
Now, you've also linked it with the significance of the season. Okay? Now, when we look at that, does it mean that you only save giving for Christmas time?
No, so there's something about Christmas that makes it very special. Typically for me, during Christmas, I try not to have cash in my pocket. And the reason is that there's this jolly feeling you have. You see someone, you just want to dip your hands inside your pocket and just give. You just want to dip your hands inside your pocket and just give, you know. But generally speaking, giving is not something that is reserved for Christmas.
Okay.
Giving is something that people do consciously. In some cases for moral reasons, in a lot of cases for spiritual and, you know, religious reasons. The two major religions in Nigeria actually encourages giving, and you'll find a whole lot of scriptures. I'm Christian, so you find a whole lot of scriptures about giving, sowing seeds in the morning, do not withhold your hands and things like that. So, yeah, Christmas is different in the sense that there's a lot of, you know, there's this good feeling in the air and all that, but generally giving is something that is done all through the year.
Okay, it's just like you said, the season and the consciousness and the goodwill and the atmosphere and everything about the end of the year, and the fact that Christ came as a special gift and is celebrated in this season. Now, tell me, who is in a position to give? Sometimes we think that only the wealthy, you must have so much, more than enough to give. What's your take here?
So I would like to answer that question by, telling a story. Sometime this year, a lady reached out to me. She couldn't pay the school fees of her children. And I put it up on my WhatsApp status. I do a lot of that on my WhatsApp status. And we were able to raise more than 100,000 naira for her to pay her children's school fees. So at the end of this year, there's something that I typically would do. It's called 10,000 naira for 100 families. So the minute I put it up on my WhatsApp status, the first person to give was this lady. And she gave only 2,000 naira. Now, she received 100 when she was in need, but at this particular time, it's just like that scripture in the Bible where the widow's mite, that story where the lady gave just 2. And she gave just 2,000 naira, and I'm sure it's all she has. So giving has nothing to do with your capacity. It actually has more to do with the willingness of the heart, and it has a lot more to do with why you are giving it. Some people, funny enough, somebody else also saw the same status, asked me a lot of questions, and said, "Oh, I'm not giving." Now, if you contrast the two stories, the other person was being very methodical, was asking me a lot of analytical questions. What's the basis for giving? How do you determine this? And this other lady just gave the 2,000. This other guy could have given 100,000 because he has it, but he didn't give a dime. Now, he could have done it in other places, which he said, but the truth is that it has absolutely nothing to do with the wealth or the condition of your pocket, but more of the condition of your heart.
More of the condition of your heart, and that's a very profound statement. Now, we are told that life is about giving and receiving. So, whatever you do, it's either you're giving or you're receiving. Now, there is some kind of giving that is mandatory. And then others, yes, you can use your own discretion. So would you like to break this down for us?
Well, if you look at giving that is mandatory, I think it has to do more with religious beliefs. And you'll find out that certain religions actually will tell you that you should give alms. In fact, in Islam, it's part of the 5 pillars of Islam, where you must compulsorily give. Now, in such situations, people give, but even while they are giving, the condition of the heart still matters. If you look at Christianity, for example, it says your left should not know what your right is doing. And that's also why some people, when they are giving, will give anonymously. And you'll find out that for the type of giving that is compulsory, some have this obligation or this sense of, oh, I've not done it. But by the end of the day, a lot of people want to give, a lot of people don't have to give. And like I said, it's the condition of the heart. So if you want to give 100,000 and all you can give is 1,000, then give that 1,000. And God that says that when you have the capacity to do 1,000,000, you definitely do 1,000,000. So it's something that I think both the compulsory as well as the willing gift still has to do with the condition of the heart.
Okay. I would like to receive a very special gift this season. I would like to also give something in return. What is wrong with this bit of expectation? What is wrong, if anything?
So let me say it this way. I'm yet to get my first Christmas gift. This Christmas Day. So my kids, they already have several toys that are already lined up under the Christmas tree. In fact, I've spent a lot of money trying to say, oh, what's the best gift to give them this time around and all that. They also sent a list like every child would do and all that. But I've not gotten a gift. So this is my special appeal to the whole world to send me a Christmas gift. But that being said, there's nothing wrong with expecting gifts. Two, for every gift that you give, it really does come back. Now, how does it come back? A lot of people think when you give a gift, it's all about getting exactly that same type of gift back. But one of the things that I've seen that has happened to me, particularly when I give directly or organize, events where other people come in to give, is that it typically comes back as goodwill. In accounting, there's something called accounting for goodwill. That's a different topic. But it comes back as goodwill. Sometimes it comes back as inspiration. Sometimes it comes back as wisdom for you to know how to deal with, particular situations. And then it also comes back in a lot of cases as opportunities. So I have people who have done business with me, and the only reason why they do business with me or give me cash for business is because of what they've seen me do in organizing giving to other people. So there's nothing bad in expecting, in fact, the scripture says that if you give, it will come back to you, good measures, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. So I encourage everybody to give and have an expectation. Not necessarily that I give 10 naira and 1,000 naira will come back to me. But as I'm giving this 10 naira, it could be doors of opportunities. For example, I'm on this show, and the only reason why I'm on this show is because someone saw that I was arranging or organizing an event to give out gifts to people. So it's just like that. And I'm sure, I don't know where this is going to lead to. Somebody else might be watching this and say, oh, give me that guy's phone number.
Yeah.
Okay, so John, hold on. I know you have a question. For me, is it also wrong or right to be specific, if I'm asking you, like it's Christmas season, I go around telling my friends, I want A, I want B, I want these specific items or specific things, that I expect. Can I ask them? Can I tell people what I want?
So for Christmas period, I think you're free, if you ask me. And here's what I would say. So something happened at a particular time. I put up that I wanted a sound bar, and somebody sent the sound back to me. It was probably one of the best gifts I've ever received. So there's nothing wrong if you have a specific gift. I mean, if you want a Lamborghini Diablo, there's no reason why you shouldn't put it up. The problem is, do you have people in your area or in your circle of influence that will be able to buy you that Lamborghini? Because if you don't, you're on the long thing.
Yeah. So the bottom line really is that, you just give with your heart. And
whatever you get,
something will always come back to you. Because one, it's in the scriptures. Two, it's almost like a rule of life. Okay? So at that point, I think we just have to take another break here. Of course.
We just, before we take that break, I think it will be time to say thank you so much to our guests all the way from England, and our regards to the family, and we wish you the best Christmas ever.
Thank you so much. It's been great having you.
Thank you so much for having me.
We'll take our break now.